Listen, when you come from generations of Irish Catholics, you know that there shouldn't be a long period of time between inviting Roman clergy to the program. It just is a good idea. I know that there's no graces to be necessarily involved here, but I'm not taking any chances. Father John Muir from the Newman Club at Arizona State University, which is?
Well, it's on University and College, right there in Tempe, on the north edge of ASU, not too far from the stadium, from the football stadium and the basketball arena. We're right there.
Most of the time, I love talking about Sun Devil life, sports, the activities going on over there. Not this time. I want you to tell everybody about your Roman holiday.
That's right. Yeah, I was in Rome just a week or two ago when we elected the new pope. It was I had a friend of mine called me up 6 days before, and he said, married guy, he said, it's a lifelong dream for me to beat a papal conclave. And I said, look, it's spring break for us at ASU. If your wife can give you the okay to go, let's do it. And we didn't even know when the conclave was going to start. And long story short, we were there in St. Peter's Square when the white smoke came out, and it was just a thrill. Yeah, it was amazing.
But what kind of a choice did it have to be on spring break for a good-looking young father not to go to Daytona Beach and hang out getting some rays, as opposed to standing in the rain in St. Peter's Square?
Yeah, I just wanted to be wherever the place to be was, and for a Catholic and for a priest, and really just for anybody interested in kind of big moments. Wow. Rome and St. Peter's was a great place to be.
It doesn't get much bigger than this. I mean, after all, it's the first time that a pope has been elected as a result of a resignation in 600 years.
Right. Yeah, breathtaking on so many ways. And the first American pope from the New World, from North or South America, and Jesuit. You and I are both Jesuit trained. No, you weren't Jesuit trained. I was, at least.
Yeah, I offered them the opportunity, and they turned me down.
They turned it down when they were lost.
But also the Pope, though, right? Jesuit, and the first one from the Americas, and the name that he chose.
Pope Francis. I mean, some people are saying Pope Francis the first. We really just have to say Pope Francis because we all know it's the first. But yeah, Jesuit Pope, so a man who loves education and has a great love for what a lot of people don't know is a love for poverty. He made a vow of poverty. Every Jesuit priest does that. And so I honestly don't know. I think in the 1700s, Pope Clement was one of the last popes who was a man who was living out a vow of poverty. And of course, for us as Catholics, that reminds us of some of the great saints. Pope Francis, who had this great simple life. St. Ignatius himself. And, in the broadest sense, Jesus himself, who lived this unimaginably attractive life. And I think Pope Francis is already catching our attention in the way he's been doing that. He's breaking all sorts of rules, all sorts of Roman and Vatican protocol. But I think he's kind of getting us back to the essence of what the papacy and really what Catholicism is really all about.
But of those three historic breakthroughs, Jesuit, Francis as a standard by which he should lead his life, and a Pope of the Americas, which is the most significant?
Well, they're all connected in some ways. I think the name Francis, for me, in my opinion, that's the big signal. Because names for popes are extremely significant. When you take a name like John the 23rd, you're saying it's in continuity with something in the past. And Paul VI, John Paul II was saying, I'm taking John and Paul and I'm sticking them together and I'm keeping it going. But new name signals something new. So that's not necessarily the what of what he's going to do is going to be new, but I think it's the how. He's living the papacy in kind of with a new style and a new flair. Everybody knows famously now he rode the bus back to the place they were staying, walked into the hotel, and he paid his own bill. And of course, the joke was they had a hard time finding his reservation because he checked in under a different name. Ha ha. But isn't he already catching our attention? In fact, one of the things that the Pope always does is says Mass at St. Peter's on Holy Thursday. And he said, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go say Mass for prisoners in one of the prisons in Rome. So kind of.
What else is he not going to do?
Well, I think I don't think he's going to get bogged down with a lot of the things that just aren't essential. I think he is going to travel a lot. Like John Paul I and Benedict XVI, John Paul II traveled so much, Benedict XVI traveled so much. I think he'll keep doing that. I think he's not going to write a lot of documents after documents after documents. St. Francis didn't write a lot, but he lived in this exemplary way. We have enough papal documents from the last 30 years to sift through for the next 200 years. I don't think that's Pope Francis's forte. Although as a Jesuit, he's a very intellectual man. But I think he knows what we need now is an answer to the question, who cares? I mean, who cares about the Catholic Church? Who cares about Christianity? Who cares? Isn't the world kind of past that? And I think he's going to say, well, I think we're past a lot of the trappings, but at the heart of it, we're not past it. And Christianity does have a message. The papacy does have a message. But I think we care about what's the cash value in life and how we live. And I think he's going to act more than he talks.
If you yourself have said, the priest is guesting on McMahon's show, who cares? And now all of a sudden you say, well, maybe I do a little more, because I never thought about those facets of what's been going on. All as a result of meeting Pat's personal portrait of Father John Muir on KTAR.com.